Ugo measured CO2 in the room. I measured biodiversity. It's 2 species, Homo sapiens and the plant there. I don't know what the hell is that. That's nature, as we like it. Colors, many species. It's too short for me. It wants to tear off my ear. Okay, good. So many colors, many species, many shapes, forms, beautiful. But the most important thing is missing, is not there. The most important thing is interactions among the species. Because they coexist, they depend on each other. They don't live autonomously, they're not independent. So in the next slide, you can see 2 beautiful figures. On the left, that's the food web of a Canadian willow forest. You see the snake and ducks and microbes. And on the right, you see the carbon flow network of the Chesapeake Bay in North America. Totally different figures, but both of them give us the same message. Species are dramatically depending on each other. What they eat, what eats them, many kinds of trophic and non-trophic interactions. These are super important. Whatever one species do has a large influence on all of the others, and whatever the others do has an influence on the focal species. It's very important to keep in mind, there is one exception, one species that thinks that he can do it alone, he can be independent, he shouldn't care the others, he's smarter, he knows it better. And for that reason, that species dramatically overpopulating this planet, dramatically over-consuming the resources, and wants to control everything. So we can speak about human, because that species is human. So we can speak about overpopulation, overconsumption, over-control. Maybe game over is the next step, who knows? So we are here. And the big question, how could we do it? In some sense, it's a success story. It's no question. So we are fantastic. We have been fantastic before. And the question, how to do it? The answer is very simple. We hacked the ecosystem. How to do it? If you're a rabbit, for example, but we can speak about any species. If you are a rabbit and you reproduce, they can do it, they mean it. I mean, if they reproduce, there are many ecological mechanisms controlling them as negative feedback. Predators come and eat them. Diseases, natural enemies, viruses come, make them sick and kill them. There's not enough food, so they starve and die. There's not enough space to live. There is a shortage of habitat. They cannot find a burrow for themselves. And there can be internal conflicts as well, intraspecific conflict and competition. It's a beautiful day, so today we don't speak about cannibalism, but actually they are cannibals. Also, rabbits can eat the neonates. So they eat each other if the conditions are not very good for them. So all of these mechanisms are ecological mechanisms of negative feedback, keeping all of the organisms under control. Except for us, who, again, we did a spectacular success in switching off all of these mechanisms. We killed all of the predators because we are afraid of them killing us. How many people dies because of shark attack in every year? 8. It's not enough. How many people dies because of diseases? Okay, much more than 8, but it's still not enough if you compare it to 8 billion people. How many people are starving? We have enough food. Maybe it's not nicely distributed, but we have enough food. We have enough place to live. So the last hope is on the right. Internal conflicts. If there is any kind of solution, that might be a kind of solution, that we are just too dense. The population is too dense, it's too big. If you take an underground in the morning, you are very close to that solution. I mean, everybody is very close to you. They are coughing. They are looking at you from 1 centimeter. And you would kill. I mean, you would love to kill. And that's very natural. That's a very good feeling. I'm not a psychologist, unfortunately, I'm not a psychologist, but I understand these people. So we develop, we grow, we do fantastic things in human terms. And this causes many problems with the nature. All of you know there's a habitat loss, habitat fragmentation, pollution, overfishing. Many people say that overconsumption is the sin of the rich, because the rich, the top X%, is consuming the Y% of the goods. Maybe that's true, but if you think of overfishing, that's not the luxury of the rich. I mean, overfishing is there because we have to feed billions of people just eating fish and rice every day. It's not because of the rich, it's because of the population side of the people. So we do all of these things, And there's a big problem here. No, two problems. The first is that I'm thirsty. I have to drink. If you look at the left, you see what was the situation before. It was relatively simple. So there was an oil spill, like Exxon Valdez in the Prince William Sound. And because of the oil, fish died. And we understood. There's a cause and an effect. Okay. The situation is increasingly complicated now because we are doing many negative things, many negative disturbances on the planet, on the biosphere. And there are many negative consequences of these. And what's in between, this is not Earth, this is the black box. We can call it the black box of many, many, many ecological, meteorological, oceanographical interactions, very richly interconnected with each other. So the problem is that we know more and more. I'm a scientist, so I can tell you we know more and more. But we also know more and more, and we understand better and better how hopeless is it to mitigate the things, because there are many things acting in parallel, combined with each other. And what is the outcome is just some kind of outcome, some kind of output of the black box. It's not easy to manage anything. On the left, before, it was a bit easier to understand, but now it's completely chaotic. So that's why ecologists speak about multiple drivers of change, because there are multiple drivers acting in combinations. Because of multiple drivers, and also because of the time scale of the changes, everything is very rapid. We can speak about a dramatic extinction of species. Look at the right side. You see the biomass of terrestrial mammals, vertebrates, so the biomass of terrestrial vertebrates in time. What is green is wild animals in the past. What we have now is humans in red, livestock in blue. And if you don't see it, it's not your fault. In green, you see the wild animals, the biomass of wild animals. That's kind of shocking. And you can very nicely combine the red and the blue, because livestock and humans is the same story. Livestock live for us. So the red and the blue together is our civilization, and the green is what is left from nature. Still, many people say that overpopulation is not a problem. Okay, I don't know. If you think back of the first slide of networks and interaction networks, you can also recognize that one of the key problems today is that we are breaking the interactions between the species. So because of many changes, because of global change, many species could adapt, many species could react. All of the species you see today are masters of adaptation, masters of adaptation. They are the end products of lineages of 4 billion years, and all of the ancestors were fantastic. So they are the best offspring of the best ancestors. That's why they could survive. So they are fantastic adaptation machines. Still, because of the interactions, they are very sensitive to lose partners. For example, if there is no honeybee, nobody can pollinate the trees, and it's a problem for the plants. In the US, for all of the agricultural plants, I mean for 80% of all of the agricultural plants, the lack of pollination is a problem. So the pollination services of nature are dramatically reduced. The picture is from China, where people manually pollinating the apple trees. I don't want to do it in the future, so maybe I should check out before I have to do it. So what about solutions, if there is any? I do believe that if there is any kind of solution, it's not of technological nature, and it's not of energetic nature. It's of cultural nature. So we can change energy sources, we can change technologies, but basically we have to change our culture. We have to change our culture, and it's very complicated. But the good news is that it's not a matter of money. It's a matter of discussions. That's why we are here, thanks to Balázs. It's a matter of discussions. It's a matter of collective decisions. And it's a matter of self-criticism. Let's look at our past culture. Let's dig deep down in culture, and let's think about it. What was so bad before? So, for example, the right to reproduce. It's almost evident for everybody that we humans, we have a right to reproduce. Every woman has a right to reproduce. This is a very beautiful anti-ecological thought. I mean, in ecology, no species has the right to reproduce. In ecology, everybody tries to reproduce. If they can or cannot do it, depends on the others. So all of the species play the game together. There is no species, apart from us, there is no species saying that I have a right to reproduce. no shark, no tiger, no plant like this, I don't know what's that. No species says that I have a right to reproduce. So what does it mean? What does it mean right in nature? Nothing. It's just the creation of lawyers. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, of course, but second thing is carrying capacity. As an ecologist, I learned it on the first day in the university that carrying capacity is a basic concept in ecology. We tend to completely forget it. I mean, if you speak about infinite growth, if you speak about the resources that shouldn't deplete any time, if you speak about the endless growth within the finite limits of the planet, I mean, that just means to me as an ecologist that carrying capacity is just neglected. It just doesn't matter. We can always push it a bit higher. I don't show you curves, but I could show you many curves about carrying capacity, but it's like this and it should be like this. It's easy. And the third is that if you speak about culture, what about our attitude, our ego? Are we able to speak like in a way that we are part of the game, or we have to think like this is our planet, this is our privilege to control this planet? Basically, we are alone. All of the other animals are just noise. It's enough to have people, livestock, and wheat and maize, whatever. So what about the attitude? Can we accept the fact that we are not alone? The picture wants to illustrate our beautiful attitude. I mean, gorillas are on the death row. They will go extinct very soon. It's only a couple of individuals. They live, for example, in Congo, in Uganda. We destroy the habitat, so they will go extinct. That's a sad story, but it's better to accept it. There's no way to save them. Still, we have the money, we have the right to go there and to irritate them with the huge cameras from 1 meter. That tells everything about our ego, and that tells everything about our attitude. How are we related to nature? The same, recently there are tourist agencies organizing trips to the Antarctica. People go to the Antarctica. Of course, it's a lot of money, it's a lot of time. They go there, they take a selfie, only them and the white background, and then they go home, then they come home. So Antarctica was something like the last remote, untouched part of the Earth. Now we go there because we can do it. We have to go there. And the snow is already yellow, of course. The next thing we have to speak about is how can we be so arrogant that we say that we protect nature? How could we protect nature? If anything protects anything, nature can protect us at the end of the day. If we let nature work properly, if we let nature function in a good way, if natural processes will work properly, then we have some chance to be protected by nature. We don't protect nature. We can save one species, we can help 1 or 2 species in zoos. Yes, this is nice, this is cute, but we cannot protect nature. Nature can protect us. And one of the most important mechanisms here is rewilding. We use, what you see on the right is a rewilded river at the Dutch-Belgian border. It looked like the one on the up before. It was a canalized river. In the Netherlands, many rivers look like this. I mean, you don't even know what is a river and what is a canal. And now it looks like the one on the bottom, they decided to rewild the river, they decided to uncanalize the river, and it started to go in many directions. And now there's a beautiful biodiversity, and the whole system is more stable, it's more resistant, it's more resilient, it works much better. We should rewild a huge part of our planet if we want to see nature ecosystems working in a good way and finally protecting us. I mean, if you have a flight over Europe, you see the checkerboard of agricultural fields in Europe. I mean, Europe is disgusting from the air. And 80% of these agricultural fields support the livestock, not even us. It supports the livestock, and we eat the livestock at the end of the day. So for example, if we eat more plants, and it's not a matter of religion, it's not a matter of philosophy, it's a matter of ecology. If we eat more plants, not like me, but if you want to eat more plants, it would be fantastic to save a lot of space from agriculture, and a lot of space could be rewilded. And natural processes that need space should function in a much better way, and that should be very good for ourselves. So if we speak about the society, there are many problems here. The solution is not easy, but even if there's a solution, it's almost impossible to implement it because of, for example, because of the lack of communication between the countries. I mean, the network of international relations is in a dramatic condition. Probably it wasn't so bad like this, I mean, since ages. And also because dramatic inequalities between people. Look at the picture. So if there are inequalities, we simply don't have the same problems, we simply don't share the same issues, the same questions to answer. We speak about different things. We can speak about the straw, if it should be plastic or paper, but this guy just wants to drink something. I mean, we speak about different things. So inequalities just block meaningful discussions and meaningful conversations. And the last point here, and I only have one more slide, so the last point on this slide is self-control. That's a fantastic, unique possibility for our species. It never happened before in evolution that one species decided to control itself. As I said, species control each other. There's mutual dependence. We could be the first species, and that's a huge opportunity. We could be the first species deciding to control ourselves and saying that we can do something, we could do something, but we don't do it because we see it's not a good choice. It's a huge opportunity for us. Of course, we don't do it, we never do it. I'm just joking, but it would be fantastic. I mean, self-control is not in the vocabulary of ecology and evolution. We could do it. We could be the first one to do it. So to conclude, and we are in time, right? So to conclude, there is one planet called Earth, and there is one species called Homo sapiens. Homo sapiens sapiens, because we are shy. So there is one Earth and one species. And the question is, how do we live on this planet? What are the rules of the game? We have laws, we have religious dogmas, we have traditions, we have social norms. We have many kinds of rules how to play the game. The problem is that many of these rules were created many years ago, when human population was 1 billion, or maybe only 500 million people, maybe less than 500 million people. So most of the rules we use today are from the 19th century. This is, in the middle of the 19th century, it was 1 billion people, or even older. So the rules were created for 500 million or 1 billion people, and now we are 8 billion, and we want to play the game with the same rules. This is just stupid. Thank you.